Hello, everyone. I forgot to hit go live, so I don't know, but we should be live now. It's all good. Say hi if you're live. I was sitting there looking and dreaming other things, and let's hope everyone is live. I can see that we are live. Say hi in the comments.
Who's not getting tired of this? Something like talking.
I got distracted by a comment on my other screen. I'm like, really? No, we'll come back to that. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can see us live. Oh, now I can see how many people here. Welcome to our last Q&A, not our last session, because we have our wrap up in an hour and a half or 2 hours at 7 o'clock, whatever time that is, in 2 hours. But this is our last one, but not last but not least, as the expression goes. A little bit of homework first, and then we'll get into talking to Tracy. So first of all, we want to talk about the bingo. Remember to get your bingo cards in. We said 5 o'clock, but you got till 6 because we're here until we get off this call. We need to go through them all. We need to count all your bingos. We need to put them in our wheel and get it all ready for 7 o'clock. So definitely submit your bingo cards. You can have as many bingos as you can get. I've seen some very full cards. So thank you, ladies, who have filled out your card, participated in everything. We love you. We love having you here. Thank you for that. Thank you to our, actually, yes, we'll do it that order. Sorry, my brain's getting fast or slow. Thank you to our sponsors for today. Tracy is our sponsor. As I've said in other videos, we both have our own businesses. Not only we come together for this, but outside of this and for our circle, we have our own businesses. And Tracy's business called The Embellished Connections. And I see a bunch of Canadians going by. So if you're looking for a Canadian store to buy for your craft supplies, Tracy runs a semi-virtual store, pop-up store. She definitely, you can ring her doorbell and you can come and shop in her shop at her home in Ottawa, Canada, with a little bit of notice. You can see her if you're local in some of the crops and things like that. You can look at her store. There's a wonderful coupon in the VIP if you are and you want to order. But given all of the complications of getting things across the border, let her do the work for you if she carries the product or has access to the product. So that's one of the benefits of having a local store for Canadians. And the other is our creative sponsor, which is Serenity Fair, which does amazing washi tape. She was showing them. Go back and watch her video if you want to see some of her washi tape. She has wide washi tapes. She has long printing ones. She does vintage, so like original Alice in Wonderland, Jane Austen, some other stuff. And it's not just used for scrapbooking and card making. She showed hairbrushes and other things. Somebody does it on their car. We're not sure we recommend that one, or in the shower, but you got to go watch the video to get that.
You do the Q&A in that.
And if you are enjoying being part of this summit, we are doing a challenge. You'll see emails going out tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest, about the prompt and play challenge, which we did before. And the prompt and play challenge is coming exactly that. We're going to give you some prompts. We're going to get you going. And we are going to have some fun. So that's coming out tomorrow, probably, or Tuesday at the latest. And people are saying how they love her washi tape, how beautiful her washi tape is. So excellent. See, I said all that really fast. And there you go. We are going to talk about Tracy, and then we're going to talk about the whole summit in our wrap up, of course. But we're going to talk about Tracy, and I'm going to go back to catch some comments. And I don't have to make you big because we're just...
No, I'm fine like this.
Over there. I don't know. It just seemed like a better place to have you on the left than the right. Well, no, I can make you big. I made myself big. You can be big. There you go. So hi, and Tracy, we've been saying it, but where are you in the world?
I'm in good old Canada, if anybody really wants to know, which is Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I'm not too far, as Heather says, from her place either, which is scary.
On the other side of the literally on the other side of the forest.
Yeah, she lives right over there. If you could see, it's right over there.
Over there. On the other side of the forest. A question: how did you get started doing this paper crafting thing?
The paper crafting thing as a hobby, it was just a friend of mine who she went to one of those creative memories parties, and she came back and she's like, Trace, this is for you and all this stuff. And I'm like, nope. It's just, to me, it was white paper at the time, because we're talking many years ago with a picture on it. I'm like, no, that's not me. And then a couple years or a year or two later, we started seeing pattern paper and stuff coming out. And by the way, here's Juno, sorry. And all of a sudden I was like, well, that's what she meant. This is me. That's what she meant. So that's kind of how it started. I had been in sales before, some other jobs, and clients kept telling me, "Why aren't you running your own business?" And I was like, "Why are they telling me this?" And sometimes I'm just like, "Hang on, maybe that's something I better listen to or should. Like they're saying this for a reason." Sorry, somebody wants my attention now. And I kind of put the two together. And I said, "You know what?" And because at the time it was harder, like you just didn't find many items out there. And I went, "I want these different products." And that's became me. And obviously kind of a foundation of my store too.
Excellent. Good question. Good answer. Um, my train of thought. There's someone in Lethbridge, Alberta, who stepped outside because it's too cold. We're having snow today, so hey, for those who are in Australia, we're snowing. People are shoveling. I'm like, yeah, winter hit. Tell us a bit about your project if you have it with you to
I
do
can
with
say it now because she was just sitting on it, but now she's going to come back around before she sits down. Sorry. Basically, because in the summits and from all my clients, like we all have a lot of product. Don't get me wrong, I want you to buy more. I do. But at the same time, use what we have. Okay. Because that gives us the reason to go, okay, this stuff's used. I can, you know, get some more. Um, but also then I start digging through my own stash, saying, if you're going to give that advice, why don't you do it, Trace? And so a lot of the things, like I have always liked flowers and not in my own garden because I don't garden, but I like paper flowers. And, we all have those old flat ones that we're just like, why do we have so many of these? So that kind of started me. And so here's the irony. This is the first page I did. All right. Then I said, okay, I'm going to do a video. So then I did a video. And this is what I made. And the video didn't work. So round three. And I'm sorry, this is why my video got messed up and got left the way it was. It is because I did round three and I was like, that's enough because then my memory was full.
Bring back round two for a second.
But sorry?
Bring back round two for a second.
Round two?
That was pink. I'm amazed. She doesn't like pink, so I had to pick her on.
And in that video, Heather, I sat there saying, you guys are going to be amazed. I'm doing a color I don't use. I tried that, everybody, and it didn't get filmed.
But it looks lovely, so there you go.
Okay. So
explain your flowers.
It's pushing yourself to do certain things like that. Okay.
Yeah. Watch your papers covering up the speaker when you go down.
Oh,
your mic.
Sorry. Okay, the cat just fell. Like, really, cat? Sorry.
They have 9 lives.
Sorry, she wants attention.
What were you were gonna say something and I interrupted you.
Yeah, it's a lot of, and I find too, and stuff like this, it's always using, like here I use just different paper strips. So using your scraps that you have, or you could, switch it from scraps to washi tape or to ribbon. Use whatever you've got and just create kind of your own patterns, right? And then of course it's a lot because we get double-sided paper and we're going, oh, what side did we use? I like them both, so use both sides. I'm just doing little flips over, right? And then like I said, a lot of it's just building up these old flowers and, well, you'll see, what did I use here? The Prima, the art stones, something like that, just to add life to them. And I did rub-ons on the flowers and stuff like that. Whatever you want to do, whatever you have, use it on, to dress up your old stash.
So we're going to go through, and they're beautiful. I like the pink pages. Tracy never does pink, by the way, so anybody who's going that. It's like, whoa, Tracy did pink, but it looks like it's a girl's baby picture, so the pink makes sense.
That was my girl.
It's your girl.
Okay, Heather, thank you, because on this page, I also did something this is often gets I'm asked this a lot too. So something where I have her today versus her, when she was born and younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because you don't have to do, every single year if you're trying to catch up on things. It's like, no, put your, all on one page. Of course, you're still gonna have more than one, but you can put things together, mix them together like that, the pictures.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, someone said these are there was so much wonderful information. There's a lot of wonderful information in today. And I tried to create something each day. Today I double dipped and incorporated a presenter from day 1 and from day 2. So hopefully you share that in the Facebook group so we can see what card you
Yes.
made today.
And what she's saying is exactly, you just get a little info. If you're, I'll do scrapbooking, but if you're a card maker, watch it and you might go, oh, I'll use that idea, but on my card, right? And so already, sorry, I don't know the name, but she's mixing two different things that she's seen in videos and putting them together. Like that's a perfect idea.
Someone said I requested, if we just requested an admin to the group, well, we'll see. While Tracy's talking, you have now been added to the group.
I thought that was going to be a question.
Now I've added you to the group. For those who last minute people have asked to be in the group, you are now in the group. How do we send that in again? You can submit your bingo card by putting it in the Facebook group, or there's actually a link in your email that says submit card. There's actually a link on the PDF that says submit card. You can do that. And worst comes to worst, you can just take a picture of it with your camera and send it to Tracy's email.
Yes.
So those are the ways. Heather and Tracy, you are superheroes. Thank you. We appreciate that. You both have to be exhausted. There's a possibility. I won't say that I didn't kind of fall asleep last night when sitting in a chair. It's kind of like that. This summit has been so exciting and I've learned so much. Thank you to all involved. This was my first summit and found out about through Whimsy Stamps, who is one of our sponsors. So thank you for coming into that. And we are going to do a lot more of this in our next one. Washi tape. I'm still at the beginning.
That's okay.
I love this summit. I love the focus more on techniques and creative play. Thank you. Not sure. Question. Not sure if this question has been asked. How did the two of you meet? Go for it, Tracy. We don't really know. We do know, but we don't know when.
Yeah. I don't know exactly, like, the first time, but we used to do networking, when you go and you're trying to get your own business running, right? Because Heather has her business, I have my business, and so I believe it was in this one main group that we'd go to on a fairly regular basis. And, you kind of talk and exchange business cards and then you're sitting around at the table going, all right, not a bad vibe, right? And then for sure, I mean, I definitely remember Heather doing some presentations for a couple of these groups, just teaching us, whatever was like maybe Facebook at the time for businesses, because that was kind of new, right? And things like that. And I'm like, oh God, I'm writing a lot of notes. Like this lady kind of knows her stuff. And then, well, Heather, then a few years ago now,
4 years.
called me up and said, Trace, we should talk about summits. And I'm like, what is a summit? Because I had never heard of this.
Oh, I
And
plied
she
her
said,
with food. She's changing. I plied her with food. I
well, I
said,
was gonna say,
Tracy.
she said, come on over for lunch. And I was like, okay. And
So
yeah,
I'm
she
going to take
started
a
to talk
different
to me, and then I went, I can't do this. I can't do this. She goes, why don't we do it together? And I'm like, oh, because she knows me. She knew what I can and can't do. And and I'm like, okay, let's talk, and yeah.
So I'm going to put it a different way, which is true. We met networking and doing that. I saw Tracy and got to know Tracy, and I saw Tracy had a lot more potential than she thought she did. So I pushed her to be online and other things, and that's how we ended up here. And I did invite her over without telling her what we were going to do. So I have this idea, Tracy. Let's do this together. But I had been really prompting her to get online and do more things online and get out there. So that is how, and she was willing to come on the journey with me. We had no idea how this would go. And our first summit had 9,000 people registered. We have over 11,000. We have a Facebook group of really close to 10,000 now. And we have an email list full of if we look at all the people that have gone through, it's over 40,000 people, which is just, it still boggles our mind, right? Like we will look at this month and we'll find out that we sent 500,000 emails or 250,000 emails. It just boggles our mind sometimes, but that's the fun of it. Love your pages. You really did give new life to our old products. Love the tail in your face. Yes. Tracy, I loved your presentation. I have tons of old flowers sitting in a big box that I will now be using in my new ventures as a scrapbooker. Yes.
And
we have
I'll
snow
say, like with these art stones too, because I just didn't at the time didn't have pictures to work with this. But something like this to do like on a oh my goodness, Tracy, think of your words, behind like a wooden fence or something for a beach scene, to make the sand and whatnot. I can see it like, uh, yeah, it's fun.
Someone said they liked the way you folded the corners. If you want to show that again, just to.
Yep, yep. So they're just referring to, I'm just gonna pick this up in here, that one. Just again to show the double sides, the two sides, because that's the same sheet of paper, right?
Mhm.
And then when you've got the two different colors or two different shades, patterns, Tracy. I can't always think of my words. Okay.
Wasn't one of them the folder, the corner lifted up, I think, on the pink one? She's
Yes,
like,
but
quick,
some
quick,
of
quick.
them, depending how I had or what I did on them, some would lift up. Like I didn't stick this one down. Okay. It just would depend on, I would have stuck this one down. And in the video, I said, don't stick them down until you know exactly what you're putting under it or on top of it. Here I did, let's say on this corner, because I did a rub on. So the rub on goes across from the fold, like on this pattern paper, onto the solids, well, on top of two different rub-ons kind of together, right? So it's also showing you things like that, like rub on top of your rub-ons. Okay. Um, yeah, it's just let alone, of course, I've got my chipboard, right? Always have my chipboard. So sorry, in the other video, somebody asked if we always have to have a title. I don't necessarily always have to have a title, but I often will have something with chipboard, which with words in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that depends.
Someone said they'd never seen the stones before. A question: how do you keep from smushing anything that sticks up like that, like the flowers?
Yeah, and they're not too high up. I know what you mean. There's some flowers that, I will buy and they're going to be a lot puffier in style, right? Like they're not these old-fashioned type. Um, but to be honest with you, if I like them, I put them in my album. When something is that like will stick out that much, maybe not as high as I'm showing here, then I may do more like pop up some more of the pictures in that just to create the same or very similar type of height. Um, and then, yeah, if they smush when I put them in the album, then they smush a bit, but it doesn't wreck them that much, depending unless your flower is like huge, way bigger than your page, it can flatten out a bit for sure. So I don't know if that helps.
Someone has so many ideas to get started in crafting. Someone has a plastic container full of Prima flowers that I'm going to
Mhm.
pull out. I did share it. I
Yes.
hit number 2 on here, but it was actually day 4. Okay, excellent. If you shared it, we will find it. I'm sure I've learned. Oops. I'm sure I've learned a lot this summit. I'm looking forward to using these techniques. That's really what we do this for. Thank you for admitting me to Facebook. There's also other things I need to add to the Facebook group, like comments and thank yous and loves. Have fun in there. They are crafting superheroes. Thank you. I emailed my bingo to Tracy. We will get to it. It's after 10 this
I
evening.
have seen
The
some
last
for
live
sure. I
I can
just,
make that you both will.
mhm.
Yeah, if you submit your bingo and you're not on the call, that's okay too, as long as we can figure out who you are. So if you are in Facebook and you submitted it and you win, we will tag you. We will try to get to you. If you send an email or submit it, we will have your email address. So we will get back. You don't have to be on the call to win. That's not fair with
Yes.
people from all over the
Yeah.
world who might want to go to sleep, like Ruth is in the UK, so she's going to sleep.
Yes. Yeah. If
We
you win, you
completely
win.
understand that, particularly if tomorrow is a working day. It's always find out by the hosts for different events. It's always to find out about by the host about different events meetings. Yes, that's how we have met. See how supportive this community is. It is Susan, and Susan's a superhero. Susan, I think you've been been with us since for the first summit, and always here in our lives,
Mhm.
always helping, always wanting to help people. So thank you. Do you place your finished products in a clear protective sheet before you store it in a book?
Yes, I do. Saying that, okay, because I don't know if you would have, no, sorry, I'm trying to think when Belinda showed something today, but that unless you're a VIP and I don't know, you might have seen it. But there's sometimes, let's say, I've got the layout, it pretended in a protective flap. Then sometimes I might have just a fold, like I might even do and I've done this once before in the summit, where I did a slit through the page protector and took the fold out, because then I had a flap of the paper that
Hmm.
popped out. Does that make sense? It's hard to describe it without, I don't have it here handy to show. So sometimes I might have something sticking out of it, but otherwise, yes, I will put a page protector.
Which makes sense. We were talking about this early. I am sorry that you did this, which is, oh no, I just ruined my last project. I set my water bottle down on my X-Acto knife. Lesson learned. We were talking about that early when we were on with Tamara. It's like, oh yeah, water's not good. Oh no, water falls in the craft room. Yes. Question: how do you store your pages if they are too thick? Will they fit in the plastic sleeve? So do they still fit in? Is there a giveaway in this phase?
Again, I don't make them that thick because I know there's a lot of different layouts you can do, and there's like, you pop up your like some of the ones that we see online now, like they're popped up, and it's like they're not really meant to be in an album. They are meant more to be in a frame or like a shadow box. So me, these are like here, I don't know if that helps. Can you see that? Where
Mm-hmm.
it's not that this is not thick. This is not popped out that much. Even the chipboard, just want to closer to the end so I can show you here. Like the chipboard, you can see it's
Mm-hmm.
not that thick, right? So these are
Has
not
the
going to hurt your
illusion
page
of thickness,
protectors.
but
They're
isn't.
fine.
It has the illusion of thickness, but isn't really that thick.
Yeah, and I will also still have like the two pages in a page protector like this, right? So you've got one, and one page protector has the front and back, and it's fine.
There you go.
So
Tracy,
yeah.
your pages are gorgeous. Thank you.
And remember, look, my very, very, very first page I ever did, and it took me all day to do it, was I cut one picture, I stuck it in the middle of the page, and I put a strip of paper around to make like a border. That was it. And it took me all day to cut that picture. And so you do something and then you just go, oh, I like this idea or not. And then all of a sudden you just roll with it. Have fun.
We have a fun one. You have to just tell your husband you need 1 more hour of computer time. That's all. You can take an hour off, Sarah, and then come and join us, but you need 1 more hour. Once again, you have knocked out the creativity out of the park with your incredible event. Thank you.
Thank
Hi, Suzanne. I
you.
hope you catch you the next summit, grandchild permitting. Take care. Okay, somebody must have been leaving. Oh, Ruth was leaving. This one, or we would cover the front of the card with a scrap of cardstock so it wouldn't get caught in the postal. She's talking about mailing them.
Yes. Well, yes, definitely do that.
Somebody said they've also cut a slit in their paper protectors to let something stick out. Have you ever done interactive pages?
So I want to make sure I'm getting that right, is in something that, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of I want to make sure I've got the right definition. I'm thinking interactive. I'm thinking playful, like you're going to spin a spinning wheel or
Well,
something,
anything's interactive. When you have to
or
pull something out, it's interactive. When you have to
yeah,
open a flap, it's
yeah, and like
interactive. When you
yeah.
have
So
to,
I mean, I definitely would have, because exactly like as soon as you said, pull something out. Yes, I'll I'll do a page where you know this is the picture. I have a chipboard out just in case I need to explain anything. So that's the picture. And then behind it, I might put, you know, I don't know why I'm thinking of something, a recipe card or whatever that you'd pull out, right? If you have,
sliders is another thing, like
so,
sliders.
things like that. And then of course I would have to have cut that with a page protector. I mean, you don't have to, yes, people can go in the page protector, but depending on what it is, yeah, I would do that.
Someone's husband is giving them football updates because it's football Sunday in the States, but that's okay. That's what you can do multiple things together. Someone says, I love your personality, Tracy. I've had several giggles this weekend.
Oh, jeez. Thank you. Might be a little nervousness, but I
Hey,
do laugh. I do make, I don't know. You know what? You gotta
giggles.
have fun in life. So,
What is your process in making? We've had this question in other ones. Do you start do you plan out the whole story of an album? Do you just go, hey, I feel like doing this today and I'm going to work on that one? Do you do a whole album at once, or do you do page one here, page two there? What's your process for this?
I'm all over the place. Yeah, I I can do a few pages of the same topic, and then after two, three, I'm like, all right, that's enough. I have to switch topics. Okay. Um, and then eventually I've got like stacks of layouts going, okay, have I finished one? Can I put something in an album? Because at least I'll put them in an album in order, but it could take me a while to get them to the album because of that.
Do you plan out, like, do
Yeah.
you pick a bunch of pictures and say these will go together in an album, but you might do the pages at different times?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Like I'll still have that separated. Like I'll, let's pretend I had a trip, then that's all going to be put aside like together. And then I'll sort maybe, I will organize the photos to say, okay, this was our, I'm trying to think here, like the cottage. Okay. This was outside at the cottage swimming. This is us on a boat. These are the pictures that are, a birthday party at the cottage, whatever it might be. And so then I'll have the pictures or the papers, an idea of which ones I might use, put aside with them. But I just can't. Maybe I'll do the swimming ones first, and then go. All right, I have to do doggy pictures or whatever it else it might be. I have to do a different subject. Um, yeah.
That's interesting because everyone has a different process, right?
And then sorry, because also this was asked with Elisa, and also I find that somebody was asking me about the layout, like what's the main focus, not the focus. They asked a question, I can't remember exactly what it was, but to me, something that's so important is just make sure that your pictures, no matter how good or bad that they are, that they're still the focus, right? You want people to look at your layout and go, wow, who is in that picture? Or, oh my God, that cat's so cute, or whatever it is first, and then go, oh, hang on, now I'm seeing all the work around it because your pictures are still the focus of that layout. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. It does make sense. And Amanda did do baubles and lights and movement parts on her page. She does not scrapbook a lot, so she was just demonstrating what you could do.
Yes, and don't worry, I liked her layout. So would I do something
But is
like
that an issue inserting it? That's she's saying, like in an album with the baubles.
I'm not sure about the light part, okay, or how long though that light will last because I was curious too, and I would probably be asking her myself. Um, because I know she said when it was a card with the light, she was saying to keep it, how do you say, not working yet? Do you know what I mean? And then so that way they to have instructions when the person gets it, they know to take that piece of paper or whatever off. So then boom, it lights up. But then once you've lit it up on a layout, I'm not sure. Can you stick that back in or is piece of paper back in for the next person?
You
I
can.
don't know enough. I'm
I mean,
curious
from a
about it
battery
myself.
perspective, you can, but batteries do have a life, right? So they're always going to
Yeah,
have that. But you
exactly.
could
So,
take the battery out and
mhm,
then put it back in if you designed your layout, just to keep the battery
yeah.
out of the page and then put it back in when you want to. So that was you'd
Mhm.
have to be thinking about that
But
too. She did
as
show
far
that.
as the baubles and that, I wouldn't be worried about that
Yeah.
on your page.
I think she did show a way to put the battery back in and put a piece of paper in because she does that with cards. I think she
Well,
did show that.
yeah, she was showing that again for the card, but I just, with a layout, I'm like, well, how,
She
I'd have
did do it on
to
the
figure out
layout
a
in her
way.
video. She
Yeah, you have
showed how
another
to put a
slot.
battery back in on the layout in the video. She did show that in the video. So
Okay, see, I haven't watched. I admit it, I haven't watched the whole video.
where do you store your projects? Your finished projects, sorry.
Well, when they get in an album, because I have nobody else here, kind of like Tamar,
Mhm.
I'm running out of space because they're in a few closets. I don't have a linen closet anymore. All right. If you need a towel or some sheets, come to one area of my bedroom closet. I'll help you out. Um, so yeah, you find your little hiding areas, we'll say.
Or it takes over your house,
Um,
one of the two.
yeah. Yeah. But also, I mean, some people tell me like, well, they're hidden. We don't see them. I'm like, yeah, but I guess for me, maybe I'm not making them for that. I guess I could have a nice bookcase and have them displayed. I just honestly I don't. I'm just like, "They're fine. I've done it. I'm
Makes sense.
happy."
Susan said she would not put a battery in a scrapbook because she's had them explode in long-term storage. I would say if you're going to store it, take the battery out and keep it separate, right? You can always put it in when you want to show the scrapbook, but there is that element of it. So yes, you want to be careful. That's the whole thing with all this stuff. That's why you put them in protectors, right? So you can do that. I don't think I would either. Amanda does. I mean, part of Amanda was she was showing the products they produce and that, and she doesn't do scrapbook pages, so she decided to try it and put them in and show us how they could be done in scrapbooking because we are called the Scrapbooking Fun Summit. But she did a card as well, so I thought it was great that she's taken the time to think through the two different ones. Hers would be kind of a fun one to do as a. Actually, when you think about it, it would be fun to do it with the ones who put it in like a shadow box or a frame. Then you could have a light people who go poke the light on in the frame if it was up. So. MK, who it was on here, and she didn't talk about this time, but she has scrapbooking. I don't know if it was frames or clips that she changes the picture by her front door. So she displays her scrapbooking stuff and then she changes it around and uses it. So you could put a light in one if you were displaying it, because then people can go by and turn the light on. So different ways that you can, and the boggles. That would be a very interactive one for a kid's room, right? You got a light to put on, you can hit a bobble.
Sure. Yeah, they wouldn't sleep.
Well, but it's still got that interactive kind of fun way that you could use
good.
it for. So good idea. Yep. Thank you. I don't know if Kim's up with that. Any other questions?
Sorry, Heather. Another thing the one woman asked about storing my albums. One thing that I do differently than a lot of people is I do store them laying down. Okay. And I do that because I hear so many people, and it can be different again where you are weather-wise and that, but that either the adhesives don't just don't hold up, or that the pages can curl. Like if your album's not full, right, or they're not stored tightly together, they can wrinkle. And it's just something from gone back in my architectural days where I know I wasn't an architect, but anyways, where paper had to be laid flat. And I do see why. So
makes sense, especially in our environment where it's really dry half the year and really humid the other half of the year. So that's not going to be great for pages and stuff like that. So that makes sense. Any other questions for Tracy? I just looked. We have a lot of forms to count.
Yeah, that's all everybody wants is who wins something.
I just went, ooh, I went on the form online and you ladies have submitted. I'm like, okay, we got to go count a lot of bingos soon. How many bingos can Heather and Tracy count in an hour?
Yeah.
That's a neat idea to have it out for people to see and interact. Yeah. That would be a fun Christmas present. It would be a great Christmas present. Actually, it'd be fun to take Ellie Mae's busted paper, like the one Ellie Mae's project where they busted through the paper, and throw a light in there. Because she did them in shadow frames.
Oh, Ellie Mae. I'm sorry, I have the wrong. I'm like trying to figure out. Yes, I got it.
Ellie Mae's busted through the paper project, which was very cool. And then throw a light in busted through paper with a little wire that you could turn the light on and off. See, there's so many different ways to do it. You could do it with that, or you could put a boggle in the middle of her paper. You could put that thingy thing or a slider. Interactive toys. Oh, yes. So, yes. It'd be kind of fun with that one. And that's the cool part about combining different ideas. I don't even scrapbook, and I just combined two ideas for you. So that's the neat part. And we've seen some great, with the people, I think we had a lot more techniques in this one. And so combining the different techniques would be really cool. If you could be, we haven't heard that one from you, Susan, since the first day. If you could be any crafting supply, which one would you be and why? She thought about this, Susan.
I wrote my answer down the other day, and I know what the tool is, but what was my line? I'm ready for that, kind of, but I have notes everywhere from this, okay?
You have to find it.
I won't find it. Hang on. It was no, I'm not going to find my line, but you know what? I can still have another line because I know this is it's the same tool in my head, but a different line. So it is, I was going to say a distressing tool, because I do use it more than I find I do on videos, because you get so messy and that's a lot of cleaning up. Because also I find that it, along with the scrapbooking, de-stresses me.
There you go. You're a de-stressing tool. That's a good one. You're a de-stressing tool.
Yes. Now I cheated because I had a few days of hearing, seeing you post this question. I'm like,
but a de-stressing tool is a good one. I know you've been slacking, Susan. I don't know. Question: typically, how many photos do you put on a page?
hard to say in the sense of sometimes I do love those one photo layouts because, to me, that just means that that picture just says so much to me, right? However, if you're going to spend, like I say, a week at this vacation, you've got hundreds of pictures nowadays, right? So new. Um, so I'll have like, let's say on average, I like to do about four, five-ish is on average. I'll have more sometimes and less, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like to get pictures developed at different sizes too. I don't even have my own printer for this, believe it or not, but I do get them printed out. Do I have any samples here, Trace? Like some of them the 4x6, of course, and then a lot of them, well, that's one I use there. That I'll get two 3x4s in the size of a 4x6 because I'll also go to the good old Walmart to do this, believe it or not.
Yeah, someone
Um,
posted there are some hero
yeah,
photos that deserve their own page. I think that's a great way to put it, right?
yes,
Someone for some whatever reason that just deserves its own page, and there's other ones that can be combined. So it's
yeah,
a fun way to put it, actually. But we like Alicia McNamara. She doesn't like choosing photos. So if you ever look at any design she's ever done for it, um, you could. She tends to do one photo. That's what she does
yes.
because she doesn't like choosing the photos. So there you go. But she likes the paper.
But but I do hear from a lot of clients that, because the in thing the last few years has been one photo, just to like that's what we see online everywhere. And clients are always asking me, like, Trace, how like is it not good to have more than one? It's like, no, have whatever you like. And of course you're still gonna have more than one because like we have so many pictures. So put more than one. It's okay.
Susan's asking what I would be. I would be watercolor because it's free flowing.
Oh, there
And
you
I did not
go.
pre-think of that. That just came in when you asked me, like, what am I going to be? I'd be watercolors because it's it's free flowing, not free flowing. So she asked me that again. Yes, I would be watercolors because it's free flowing. Which is generally who I am. I go with the flow, even though it's funny because I go with the flow, but I'm very systematic at the same time. That's why I can do this. That's why I can put a summit together because I know the systems, but I don't get stressed when software goes down. So, and I don't really color in the lines, which is kind of what watercolors is all about. So that's what I would be. I would be watercolors. I hope that answers your question, Susan. I hope you like that one. But yes, free flowing, easy to go. But structured, and that's kind of what watercolors are. So if you control them,
There
they
you go.
stay structured. So I would be that. Any other questions? Hi, Debbie. Debbie's back in here. I saw Shannon as well. So I love the fact that not only do our speakers contribute, but they show up. They show up for each other. They show up for their calls. They showed up. Some of them have been on we had great panels. So for those who don't know, for the VIP Fun Bundle, which you can still get until Wednesday, is that we did these panels for the first time and we had really good discussions and really good support from the VIP showing up. We did panels on, and if you are a VIP, all the panels are in your member area except for the one for today, which will be there. We did a panel on card making. We did a panel on organization. We did scrapbooking and mini albums, and we did cutting machines. There we go. I can think of them all. So yes, you like that answer and Tracy's answer. We worked at that. I've been lurking, just working on a video. I like what one of the presenters said, foam because she's squishy. That was one of the answers.
There's somebody who's saying, thank you for your I can't read it. Sorry, for organizing extra. I have two boxes I've been working on and discarding them has been the hardest part. And I think that's part of my free gift.
Yes, your free gift. Yes,
And
I missed that one.
yes,
Sorry.
and so because at first I was reading this going, what did I say in my video? I'm like, no, Trace, other head. um, sorry, I got cat fur all of a sudden here. So basically I find that pictures, it's hard. Like let's say we don't use them on our layout and we're not going to have extra pages or whatnot. Sometimes after a while, we do have to let some go. And I say that very like it hurts me to say that. But depending, like when it's cat pictures, I'm like, Tracy, it's okay. You can get rid of some. And so I tried it just with some cat pictures, and I went, enough. Like, stop taking so many or having all of them developed. So I discarded some. I figured to try that and then see if you can get rid of other pictures. Because, and then there's some pictures you do not get rid of, and I understand. Like, you're not gonna don't get rid of, I say, your ancestry photos, and if you have anything like that, and your siblings, your kids, I understand. But when you have 20 repeats of the same picture, just there's that little movement in one and not the other, it's okay to get rid of some, right? But it is hard. So try it with something that you go, okay, I can live without these cat pictures, and then see how you feel weeks after or a month after, going, all right, I can do it with these ones, especially if you still have them saved online. I say online, but on the computer or whatnot, because
That
it's
is the good
okay.
part about virtual pictures, and that's the bad part about our way we do pictures today, right? I mean,
Yes.
in the old days, we'd have to do pictures and you'd run down and get them processed and pick them out and get double the prints and not know what to do with the second set of prints in those days. And now the other problem is maintaining your pictures, right? Moving from platform to platform, computer to
Yes.
computer. It's easy to leave your pictures behind on something you won't be able to access 5 or 10 years from
It's
now.
true.
So that's another
Very
part of
true.
maintaining your pictures and moving it. I actually have a client of mine who's in Australia, and she teaches people generally how to keep their digital assets organized. Because
Okay.
whether it's pictures or whatever, we all have these digital assets all over the place. So how to keep them organized and safe. And she teaches that, not particularly for crafting. She's a crafter, but she does it just generally of how do we keep this going. So that's awesome. I'll have to think about that one day. Maybe we'll bring her
Yeah.
on. She's a crafter. Her business isn't crafting, but just how to keep digital stuff organized. Question. Have you ever repeated a photo on more than one page?
Yeah, I have.
Interesting. On
I
purpose?
have actually.
On purpose or
Um,
by accident?
bit by both. Like, his I have one picture in mind that, I don't know, I guess we found, and it's like the only family picture that we have of, say, my parents and my siblings and I. We have one. Okay. And because, again, as I said in this morning in our, well, sorry, Heather, I think that's when you kind of laughed at one point too, but I said, mothers, okay, women, mothers are the ones taking the pictures. You're never in it. Get in it. Okay. So we didn't have a lot of pictures with our mom, let alone the family. And we had our dog in there too at the time. So I love that shot. And so I'm like, I'm going to use it, and then because I don't even know where I got the photo because it wasn't an original and whatnot. So I scanned it in as well. And then I've played around. So I've had it like printed out black and white. I've had it printed out color. I've played around with it a little bit too for different layouts,
I can see
and
that.
and
Sometimes
again, I can't think of what the themes were of the layouts, but but yeah, it was just I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'll
it's
use
kind of
that.
funny too, because I would say my childhood photos, my father's not in it, because in those days, fathers were the ones who took the pictures, not mothers.
Okay.
Now that we've gone digital and mothers have the camera, mothers take the picture. But back then, it was more likely the father who took the picture. So, and like, we don't have as many pictures of my dad as we do. Or you
Yeah.
find an unusual picture that I can see where you would do one more than once. Like, I have a picture of a family that we took that's just a really great picture, and many of them aren't around anymore, or some of them aren't around anymore, but that picture
Hmm.
itself has been used in many different ways, not scrapbooking, but just in many different ways, because it's like a really unique capture of a moment with our family that you wouldn't have very often. So,
Yeah.
and put your
Yes.
picture in more than one
And
place. But yeah, so
and
put your
another.
picture in more than one place, both online and physically. Both ways are able to be lost and felt devastating. Yeah, I mean, I know people who have had, loss in their houses and things like that, where they've lost everything. And what
Mhm.
do you want to save when your house burns down? It's your pictures. So yeah, nowadays it's your backup in your computer and run out with it. But to be honest, those pictures from long ago that we used to print and we have the negatives, they will last forever. The pictures that we take on our electronic devices like this will not last forever, right? And even printing them, it's the ones with negatives will last forever. People 100 or 200 years from now are not going to do what we do looking back, because we're not going to actually have preserved them as well, which is kind of an interesting thing. But Any other
Mhm.
questions for Tracy before we go dashing off and counting bingo cards? Because we have like 32 or 40 bingo cards and more to count. We're going to be counting bingo cards. We're going to get that all together. So this is it for bingo cards. If you haven't submitted or haven't posted on Facebook, we are not going to catch it. We are going to be going to counting bingo cards. I can speak still. Some photos are just a memory frozen in time. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Sometimes we do 20 million cat photos and really those are not memories frozen in time in the same way. But when you get, I think probably the most, for me, the most memory frozen in time are probably people-based, right? Because it's the people that you get into those photos versus, you know, a scene of my cat or my dog or whatever. So excellent. Well, thank you everybody for being here live with us. We will be back unless someone else has another question for Tracy, because I don't want to cut out Tracy's time. We will be back. Question: have you ever photobombed a family while on a vacation and asked them if you could have a copy? I have not, because photobombing wasn't around when I was on vacations with my family.
I don't think I've photobombed a family vacation thing. I've photobombed wedding photos when I was a teenager, and at the time we just kind of did stupid things. So I don't know what that photographer did with them.
Susan's going to try and hold down the fort for us while we go, so she'll keep on our comments and doing that stuff. But that's a good questions, right? Photobombing didn't exist. I'm sure I photobombed as a kid, but we didn't call it photobombing. I have no idea when that term started with cameras and things like that. But
do you need to know another story? I don't know. It's not photobombing, but it's getting a picture from somebody. Okay. I was married a long, long time ago. All right. Long time ago. And we were on our honeymoon. And so we were in the Caribbean and whatever, some night show thing that was going on outside. And so then it was like a game, and I was picked out of the audience. Come up and stage and play a game. And so we had to go, whoever's picked, we had to go and try and get the most clothes off of people. Okay. So my husband at the time, he's taken the video of this. I walk up to him and I go, "You better be naked soon." And I keep running and I'm trying to get stuff from people. And I turned around and I went, "Oh my God, he's in his underwear." So on the flight home, there was these two women that we saw on the flight there and the flight home, and they're like, "Shot for you," but of course we didn't have we had cameras then. She goes, "Julia, give me your address." They did. So there you go.
there you go. Yes.
Yeah.
On that naked note,
I'll go back to being quiet, Tracy.
No, not quiet. I did a Dolly World. The family graciously let us have digital photos of them. Very cool. But yeah, it is. I mean, how we get photos now and how we used to get photos. Tracy was stripping people. What? Yeah, Tracy's not a quiet personality that she might come across here.
Yeah, sometimes.
She's not as quiet as she thinks she comes across here. We have a picture of my brother in his cap and gown being shy, and he doesn't want anyone out there looking at him. I'm in the big picture window looking at him, photobombing him. That's cool. So yes. So that's the fun part about photos and what other people have said is when you get the right photo, it can tell a story. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, we are going bingo card counting. We will be back at 7 o'clock to wrap up. And just remember, the videos for day 4 are still available till 10 o'clock tomorrow, right? So they still get a 24 hours. We have to wrap up sometime. So we're wrapping up tonight, but the videos are still available to 10 o'clock and your free gifts are still available. And we'll go through all of that in an hour or so. And we will be back. Hopefully you'll join us for a cool wrap-up party. If you're not able to join us, thank you so much for being on the Q&As and live. Thank you for being in the summit. It has been a great 4 days. So we will see you guys in... Tracy had a big transformation since the first summit. Ooh, Tracy. Very observant. She has. I probably
You're right, though. It takes me a while to get comfy and stuff, and then it's like, okay.
I mean, I've had a transformation in my knowledge. There you go. I can talk scrapbooking, card making in ways that people are always awed by. It's like, okay. So we will see you soon. We're going to go count, and we will be back in an hour. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, ladies.